Hello everyone, how are you? This is Kay, good to see you. And welcome back to my another live stream on my YouTube channel. Today is the 1st of June 2025 and today is Sunday, so I'm here to do the weekly analysis. Last Sunday, I wasn't able to do live because I wasn't feeling well, but now I have recovered completely and I'm fully ready to start. So thanks for the patience, but let me now start the analysis. And after I do analysis, I check the comments and reply comments until the end of the live stream today. So please also look forward to it. So this Sunday's weekly forecast, I cover Forex pairs, and also I cover gold, and also I cover US index and Nifty 50, and also BTCUSD. So first, let me switch the screen to trading view and start my analysis. Today is Sunday and I'm here in Dubai. Dubai has been quite hot these days. It's becoming summertime now, and whenever these weather change, the temperature gets unstable. Sometimes some days becomes very hot, very cold, and you may have some flus and everything. So yeah, please please take care of yourself, and I hope you're all healthy and nice condition. Okay, so first let me cover Forex pairs. Let me unflag all the symbols and let me select a few pairs to discuss today. First, let me cover Euro CAD. I mark purple whichever I covered today. Euro CAD to me it's bullish, it's uptrending because according to KTS Ichimoku analysis, you can see that the Kumo has been bullish now, and Kijun Sen is up at the moment, and the Chikou span above the candles. So as you can see, as long as you get this bullish confirmation, this is the good market to trade. So although it has been ranging for the last few weeks, this week may be bullish. This is one of the markets I will be focusing on this week. I can also see that this is P wave and the market has been supported by the ascending trend line. And last week closed with a doji candlestick. Doji is where there's a very tiny body, like thin, flat, tiny body, because open and closed prices are at the same level, and there are wicks up and down. And this is like a typical doji candlestick. Doji means at the same time in Japanese, so that's why it's called doji candlestick, and that's exactly what's happening last week. So the rule is that when you see doji candlestick like this, you wait for the breakout. And in this case, again, it's bullish, it's uptrending. So I can see that if the market breaks the last week high, last week doji resistance, which is 1.5716, then I think the market goes bullish after this. So with that in mind, if you check the daily time frame, let me switch to the daily time frame quickly. Okay, so here is a daily time frame. Now, daily time frame shows its range because it has been within the Kumo now, first of all. And this part of the Kumo has been very thick. And whenever it's a thick Kumo, the market tends to be resisted. So in that sense also, it may break that resistance and goes bullish. And the future Kumo is flat at the moment. So that means there's no momentum in the market. So the bottom line is to wait for that breakout. And what's good about the breakout is it not only breaks the weekly resistance last week doji, but also it's going to be the breakout of the Kumo itself this upper level of the Kumo is called Senko span A. So you can, I will just mention A here. And lower part of the Kumo is called Senko span B. And the area between Senko span A and B is called Kumo, or cloud in English, right? So the market breaks the Kumo means it breaks the Kumo Senko span A bullish. You have to really know which way the market breaks the Kumo when you talk about the Kumo breakout. Sometimes it breaks Senko span A, sometimes B. So, but it makes a lot difference. So in this case, the market will break the Senko span A bullish, and the price comes above the Kumo, and also the Chikou span comes above the candlesticks, and that's the start of the new uptrend. If that happens this week, then the initial target is going to be up here on the resistance, which is 1.5959 level, and we have a room of about 235 pips to trade, which is quite good. So the room to trade is also very important. If the resistance is too close, like 50, 40 pips, then the market may retrace, or you may get some fake breakout, and you may not be able to run good profits throughout the week or the month. So, but in this case, since we have about 235 pips of room to trade, if the market breaks bullish, you may able to capture 200 pips or so max. So that's a good point about the Euro CAD. And also, if you look at the price action, this is called ascending P wave. The resistances are at the same level, and the supports are getting higher and higher. Right, so this is ascending P wave, and so in ascending P wave, the market may continue range. So at the moment, on last Friday close was actually on the trend line. So from tomorrow Monday, during the week, it may go up this way, then being resisted by 1.5716 and retrace, and this range could continue for 1 or 2 weeks. But eventually, I think the market breaks the resistance bullish, and that's a good point. That's a good sign for the new potential pips to capture throughout this week or next week. So in that case, I usually put alert above that resistance. So I click on the plus mark here in trading view, and I simply click add alert on Euro CAD at 1.5736 level. So once the market reaches there, I get the alert and come back and see if I can trade. Just because the price breaks the resistance, sometimes it's risky because it may be a fake breakout like last time, and the market may retrace. So in that sense, you have to be a bit specific on the entry timing. And what's more important here in this condition is the risk management. You never want to risk big at the time of the new breakout. After breakout and retest, this is where you can risk more, because this is the confirmation that the market doesn't come back within the Kumo, within the range. So here you can risk higher, but at the first time of the breakout, I recommend to risk lower, like 1% or even 2%. So that's something about the risk management, which is also connected to the psychology management as well. Because if you want to make profits, then it's either you make profits physically or you lose smaller. And which is more easier is to lose smaller than making bigger pips, because it's manageable. You can manage exactly how many lot size to go with, how many stop loss you take, and also where exactly you exit if the market becomes opposite direction after the entry. So whenever the things you can control, you focus and you study. But the things you cannot control, you don't study. So that's very important. That's why risk management is important in this case. Well, in any trade cases, it's important, but especially in this case, it's very important. Yeah, so that's the analysis on Euro CAD. I think it's interesting to talk about today. So again, after the market closes above the resistance of 1.5716, then the price not only comes above the resistance and the Kumo, but also Chikou span comes above the candles. So Chikou span is also very important, one of the 5 lines of Ichimoku. Whenever Chikou span is below the candles, it simply means the seller's dominant market. Whenever Chikou span above the candles, that's when buyers are dominant market. And whenever Chikou span touching the candles, that equilibrium is 50-50. So, I mean, there's no bullish or bearish. Buyers and sellers are 50-50. So that's something that also Ichimoku is focusing, is the equilibrium of the market. So at the moment it's range, so no direction technically, plus the price is within the Kumo. So let's wait for the breakout of the last week doji, as we saw earlier, and see if it goes bullish during the week. And once it breaks bullish, then I think the trend continues for 2 weeks or so. So if that's the case, I think you can also look for buying opportunities continuously. And when I say this, there is a previous minor resistance over here, which was also on the level of the daily Tenkan-sen, which was 1.5813. So it could retrace from here, but since the ultimate swing high, or the swing high simply is up here, the market most likely breaks the minor resistance and continues bullish. And if the market breaks bullish this way continuously, then it's going to be the next resistance levels or the round numbers, and I continue follow bullish trend. This is also something I mentioned on the previous videos, is that I don't set TP. I don't set the take profit line. I do place a stop loss, but I don't set TP. Let's say I set the TP here on 1.5959, the swing high, and the price reaches here, and it may retrace, but it can also go bullish trend continuously. Especially depends on the 5-line situation near the resistance. I do look at the lines and the Chikou span situation together with the candlesticks, and if I see the potential breakout situation and continuously trending market, then I don't exit the trade. And that's why I don't set TP. I used to set TP based on the risk-reward ratio of the stop loss. And the TP, let's say 1 to 3, 1 to 4, which usually people talk about. But I found myself that the strategy doesn't really work on me, especially with the Ichimoku. I prefer to do analysis live with Ichimoku and capture the right situation, right understanding of exactly what's happening in the market, and decide accordingly in terms of what to do next. So that's also something that you can remember and try from now. So that was Euro CAD analysis. Let me come back to the weekly time frame and check some other markets. Let's see. Yeah, Euro AUD, I think I talked about the Euro AUD 2 weeks ago when I did the live stream. Last week I wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't do. But Euro AUD is another interesting market, so let me talk about this one as well. The market has been up so much on the week of the 31st of March, and it has reached my target of 1.8572, and then it retraced all the way down to the weekly Kijun Sen, which was 1.7249. So this is a typical Kijun Sen retracement situation, which I also mentioned on the previous videos and lives. You can actually search on YouTube Forex Kijun Sen retracement, and you can find some videos about this. But here, after the market reached the swing high on the week of the 7th of April, then you could sell and the target to the weekly Kijun Sen. And now it has touched the weekly Kijun Sen, and at the time of the touch, which happened on the week of the 12th of May, it closed with another doji. If I zoom in the market like this, and I think it's more clear that is exactly this candlestick over here is the doji. And after downtrend, the market broke the Tenkan Sen, and it has reached all the way down to the weekly Kijun Sen, and now it's bouncing up now, right? So it's bullish at the moment. So this is called doji reverse, which is one of the Sakata Goho simple traditional candlestick pattern. Doji reverse. So from here, I think the market continues bullish at least to the weekly Tenkan Sen. Weekly Tenkan Sen at the moment is on, let me see, it's on 1.7836. So that's the initial target at the moment. But you don't have to set TP. If the market continues and if the Kumo also in the daily time frame or the 4-hour time frames are getting bigger and thicker, then it tends to break and continues all the way up. Sorry, continues all the way up to 1.8572 level. So that's another thing that you can remember. So with that in mind, if it's bullish momentum, then when would be the good time to trade? Let's check the daily time frame to find out. Okay, here is the daily time frame. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see the bigger picture. It's always better to scale, bigger like this way to capture the market situation in a good eyes like this way. So now the prices are within the Kumo, and Chikou span has been coming closer to the candles, and Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen are about to be gold crossing at the moment. So one thing you can wait for is the Tenkan Kijun Sen gold cross. And if the Chikou span comes above the candles, that's also a better situation that the market becomes bullish and it tends to break the weekly Tenkan Sen. And as you can see, the weekly Tenkan Sen again on 1.7836 level is actually on the daily Kumo. Technically, this Kumo part is called Senko span A. So you can wait for either the Chikou span breakout. Chikou span becomes above the candlesticks on the daily time frame, or the price comes above the Kumo. And that's the better situation to buy, plan to buy. And then the target all the way up to 1.8572. And in this case, we have a room, especially above the Kumo, we have a room of 739, 700 and almost 40 pips or so, which is quite huge. So that's another good market, I think, to trade. Again, at the moment, the prices are within the Kumo. So it may be a bit slow this week. It may not really move that much. But the good news or good thing about this week is that you may already know that we have so much fundamental news, big fundamental news. If one of these big news affects the market, then if it pushes the market up this way and breaks the Kumo, then this pair is going to be another good market, one of the best market, I think, to trade this week. Speaking of the candlestick patterns, there was bullish wave up here, and it has reached all the way to the previous resistance, and then after that there was a huge bearish bar, which is usually typically happens, And this huge bearish bar was becoming a bigger scale inside. Inside is one of the Sakata Goho as well. So inside has been formed, and then inside broke bearish completely on the 2nd of May. This candlestick was the exact breakout of this huge inside. And after this, the market marked the reversed N wave and then reached down here. And now it's becoming bullish. So overall, if I zoom out all the way like this way, then this is almost like the new bullish trend like this way. And so in this reason as well, I see that the market is bullish, and that's the best scenario to trade. Even if the market goes bearish this way, I don't think the market trends down strongly. I think the market becomes range anyways, and you may not be able to trade even if the market goes bearish. So whenever you check the market first, try to capture which direction you want to trade in specific markets based on the help of Ichimoku and the price actions like I has been doing today. And if the market goes according to your direction, then that's the one to follow. If it doesn't go according to your direction, then you don't trade. Or you create new scenario during the week and see how it goes. So we're not here to predict the future. We're here to forecast the future, just like the weather forecast on the news. You don't trust your gut feelings. You don't use your intuition, but logically and rationally, you analyze and forecast the markets in this way. And that's also the true essence of Ichimoku and the way I do analysis. So that was Euro AUD. Okay, so let me pick another pair and then move on to gold and US index. Today I cover NASDAQ and Nifty 50, and also I cover Bitcoin in the end. So let me select one of the pairs, which was Pound USD. A Pound USD was very nice also to me, and the target is 1.3752, and we still have a room of about now it's about 310 pips or so to trade. If you have seen this market, it broke the previous resistance level 2 weeks ago on the week of the 19th of May. And last week became a retracement, but you can clearly see that the market has closed above the previous resistance, which is 1.3426 level. And Kumo is up, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both up, and the Chikou span has been above the candles. So my view in this market is also bullish. So Pound USD is another good market, I think, to trade. Okay, so let me check the daily time frame as well and get some more details. Okay, here's the daily time frame. The Kumo has been nicely bullish, and Kijun Sen at the moment is flat, but the price is now on the Tenkan Sen, and Chikou span is almost touching. So in this case, I think the Chikou span bounces on the candlestick and goes, so that the market also goes down and bounces on the previous resistance, again 1.3426, then goes up. Like it happened previously over here as well, or some other patterns. Chikou span is very interesting. Briefly talking about the Chikou span, especially Pound USD, daily time frame has lots of Chikou span bounces happening. So this time I think it's going to be one of the bounces this week. And here as well, it didn't come below. The Chikou span didn't come below the candlesticks, but it just supported and went up. And here as well, Chikou span has been resisted by the candlesticks and went down. And here as well, Chikou span bounced and goes up as well. So these are some of the Chikou span bounce patterns that you can see in this market. And so that's why I think this time as well, I think the market bounces and Chikou span bounces on the candlestick and goes up this way. So yeah, Chikou span has also a few strategies by itself, and they are also very powerful. I used to take out the Chikou span because I thought, Chikou span is just line chart, and it just shifted 26 candles ago, and it's not even moving average. So I thought, Chikou span is not really important, and I used to hide the Chikou span in analysis and trade. But after I read these original books behind of myself and know the true essence of Chikou span, I really feel the power of it. And ever since, I even take the Chikou span strategies as part of my confirmation to select the market. So yeah, pound USD is now bouncing on the previous resistance as well as the daily Tenkan-sen. If I zoom in more, then I think you can see it clearly. That so this is the daily time frame again, and this is the candlestick on Thursday, 29th of May, and this was Friday. So these 2 days, Tenkan-sen were bullish, and the market on Thursday, the market closed above the Tenkan-sen, but on Tuesday, technically the market closed below the Tenkan-sen. So let's see if Monday, Tuesday, when it closes above the Tenkan-sen again, then that could be the sign of the new bullish trend. If that's the case, the Chikou span slightly touches the candles, or it may not touch and just takes off bullish, which is also one of the Chikou span bounce examples. And also there was a retracement, especially this resistance. I think it's quite strong because there was a previously inside. This happened on the 28th of April. There was a huge bullish bar and inside, and it broke bearish exactly on, exactly on the 1st of May. And so this candlestick was exactly the day the market potentially went down. And after this, it ranged, but it renewed lower. And this was becoming selling climax. And then the market went up above the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen. So now it's coming down, but since this previous inside resistance has been quite strong, I think the market bounces and goes up. Then I look for buying opportunities. But in case if the market breaks the Tenkan-sen bearish and breaks the 1.3426 level, I'm not going to trade. Yes, the market may retrace to Kijun-sen, as I discussed earlier, Kijun-sen retracement situation. But I think the market becomes very choppy anyways near Kijun-sen. So it's not worth it to select this pair to make profits. So buy is the right direction on pound USD this week. Okay, so that was my analysis overall. And for the rest of the pair analysis, I do Mondays at KTS Academy. So in there, I have more than 70 videos available, closed videos, private videos for you to watch and fully understand Ichimoku and my strategies. And I do the live analysis on all these markets on Monday when the market opens tomorrow on the membership. So please check the description below and check the details. And if you want to join, please let me know. Okay, so I have covered Euro CAD and Euro AUD and Pound USD today. So now let me move on to gold. Okay, thank you very much for everyone. Good to see you. I see lots of comments. Thanks so much. Let me cover the topic first, and then I check the comments. Okay, so here is gold. This is the weekly time frame. To me, it's bullish because the prices are above the Tenkan-sen and Chikou span above the candles, and Kumo has been bullish still. I still don't see any sign of the retracement. But in this case, if the price closes below the Tenkan-sen on the weekly, then I think it comes down to the Kijun-sen around 40.93 area. So for now, it's bullish, but at this time, we can't really tell how many days or how many weeks it's going to be ranging. From the weekly perspective, I think it's going to be range for maybe 5 or 6 weeks or so. But let's see. Let me check the daily time frame. Yeah, daily time frame is also completely range, where Kumo has been completely flat and Chikou span touching as well. So no trend. At the moment, this seems like a reversed N wave. So although last week or 2 weeks ago was bullish, last week became bearish a little bit, and I think this bearish trend may continue down to the weekly Kijun-sen. But yeah, I think this is a bit tricky market for now. I think this is not really ideal market to trade. So let me cover this one again next week on Sunday and see how this one is looking at that time. So now let me cover NASDAQ, US 100, and let me first check the weekly time frame. Okay, according to the weekly time frame, this is also a very tricky market according to Ichimoku, because it seems to be bullish, and it is bullish in lower time frames like daily 4-hour time frames, but according to the weekly time frame, this is still range. That means the market may retrace anytime. Anytime the market can go down. Because the Kumo is still, this is bearish Kumo. This light gray is bearish Kumo. In my color setting, it's not even bullish yet. And Kijun-sen has been completely flat, and Tenkan-sen below Kijun-sen as well. So they are not gold crossing yet. So that's still range to me. And Chikou span touching also, right? So yes, for the last few weeks or few months has been bullish, but this is overall range. It's a bit risky to buy at the moment in my analysis. And so let me check the daily time frame. Yes, like I mentioned, daily is bullish because the Kumo is up, Kijun-sen is up, Chikou span above candles, and the prices are above the Tenkan-sen. So bottom line here is whether the market breaks the Tenkan-sen bearish or not on the daily time frame, which is 21,239. If it breaks bearish, then it may come down to the previous support or the daily Kijun-sen. But if it continues this way, then it may reach all-time high within this week. So if you want to buy, then you better wait for the bullish confirmation in the weekly time frame. At least you might want to wait for the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen gold cross in this case. Then I think it's safer to buy. But this one also, let me come back next week and see how it plays out. Okay, and then also let me cover Nifty 50. Okay, so here's Nifty 50 chart, and this is a weekly time frame. At this moment, the market is now turning bullish. Like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, it closed above the resistance of 24,860, and it seems like last 2 weeks were ranged, and now we have the new resistance, which is 2,520. So yeah, to me it's still bullish. Chikou span is now touching the candle, so it may retrace a little bit, but you may want to wait for the Chikou span to be clearly above the candles on the weekly time frame, and that's a bit safer scenario to buy. And expect the price to break the inside of bullish, and it continues to the all-time high on this one. Kumo is flat at the moment. Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen both flat. So the bottom line is to wait for the break of 2520. Otherwise, I think the market retrace, and you may get fake out on this one. Okay, so let me now finally cover cryptos and BTCUSD. Since lots of people are interested in cryptos now because it's bullish, and I have been receiving some emails or the messages about this almost every day on my inbox. But my analysis remained the same for the last few weeks. This is weekly time frame. Now, Chikou span above candles. The prices are above Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, and Kumo itself is bullish, so it's up. Buyers are dominant over sellers. However, you see that the Tenkan Sen and Kijun Sen are completely together now. So for the market to break the resistance of 109, 207, it has to happen. Gold cross has to happen. Even if the gold cross doesn't happen and breaks, it may become a fake breakout. So you better be careful. You want to wait for the gold cross to happen on the weekly time frame of a Tenkan Kijun Sen, then buy, enter the market, and see if it breaks. I think that's better situation to buy. But so far, last week seems to be a bit retracing. But let's see how the market goes from here. And let me check the daily time frame as well. Okay, daily time frame shows it's up. It has been supported by the Tenkan Sen last Thursday, Friday. Sorry, Kijun Sen last Thursday, Friday. Kumo has been bullish and it's getting thicker and bigger, which is nice, nice momentum. The buyers are coming into the market more than sellers. And the positions are becoming bigger and bigger for the buyers. So that's what the Kumo thickness means. And Chikou span is technically above the candles. So as per the daily time frame, it's up, but weekly is range. So the bottom line here is that you have to wait for the fake breakout on this one. You never want to buy near 109, 207, or even to the resistance, the all-time, I mean the swing high of 112.073. So yeah, the market I think is going to be a bit slow, but we have lots of fundamental news and we have some other factors which may cause the market to move this week. So we will see on this one. So okay, so that was my analysis. Today I wanted to cover, and I have about 10-15 minutes. So let me read some comments and let's do some free talk until the end of the live stream today. But yeah, thank you very much for joining today. I hope you are having a great weekend so far, and hope you're ready to trade next week. From tomorrow, I mean. Yeah. Okay, good to see you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, good to see you, good to see you. Yes, Dubai is getting really hot. Yes, it is getting very hot. Yes, and humid sometimes. Today is nice weather, but usually it's a bit hazy, a bit sandy in the air. So mainly I stay indoor. I have been doing lots of researches and back testing for some new strategies. Well, I have been actually experimenting some new ways of trading while I do trades regularly based on KTS, Ichimoku, my original Ichimoku trend follow strategy. And my monthly performance in the month of May is coming up. So please look forward to that video. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. So nice to see comments. Thank you so much. And I got lots of comments when I canceled the live stream last week because I wasn't feeling well. So thank you very much for those comments as well. Health is the most important. And it's related to psychology as well. If you're not healthy, if you're not feeling well, then you may not be able to make the right decisions, or you may not be able to be patient. So in that case, you better just take a rest, because it's going to be recovered. So until it recovers, you have to take a rest and get yourself relaxed and get ready to trade as you recover. Yes, that's right. Okay. In a day, I usually do 1 to 2 trades per day, but not every day. If you check my monthly performance videos, I only take 10 trades or less than 10 trades per month. So I do monitor the charts every day. I do check the charts at least 3 times per day. And whenever I find opportunities, I enter the market. When I don't, I simply walk away and come back a few hours later. And that's the time efficiency part. Because how long you monitor chart does not relate to how much you make profits in trading. You may monitor for 6 hours, but you may not be able to enter the market. Or even if you enter the market, you may lose within 6 hours. But on other cases is that you only check the market for 5-10 minutes, but you make 200 pips, and both ways it's possible in trading, which is usually not possible in any other jobs. But in trading, it's possible. And that's why time efficiency is very important. You better reduce the minutes and hours to scan charts, to make decisions. That's why we need to call it a strategy. We need to use strategy to really fix exactly which market to trade, which market you don't. And there's nothing wrong with being selective on which market to trade. I myself is a trend follower, so when there's no trends as per Ichimoku, as per KTS, then I simply don't trade. So if there's no opportunities, then I simply walk away, and for the next few hours, I do my own things. I read the books, or I backtest, or I do some other things, then come back whenever I can. So I don't even fix the time to screen charts. When I wake up in the morning in Dubai time, it's usually Asian time, Asian session, so I do check the market once. Usually after gym and after breakfast, I make myself relaxed, and then I check the first market. So I don't check the market right after I get up from the bed. I never do that. First, I want to respect my own morning time to really, to find myself to have a relaxed moment and plan for the day. And then I wake myself up, and then I scan charts the first time. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the markets are a bit quiet. That's true. That's true. It's a bit choppy market, right? But after this choppy market, there is going to be big trends. That's the cycle in the market. So that's why we have to check charts. Continuous. Liquidity concepts, no, I don't. I don't usually check the liquidity concepts in trading. Yes. eagerly waiting for new Ichimoku subscription you are planning to start. Yes, so I'm now building the Ichimoku community, which I used to have in YouTube. Now it's merged into the KTS Academy. But it's going to be coming back. It's coming back in, I would say, a few months. I'm still building it, and I make sure that it works. And once it's done, then I will announce it officially. So please wait for me. Speaking of my mission, I feel this year is really to share Ichimoku knowledge. I have been sharing so much knowledge of trading, especially how to trade, entry, exit, and I do keep talking and sharing those knowledges. But I want to more focus on the Ichimoku itself. So I have the frame, or I have been creating some pathway that you can follow to be able to master Ichimoku through my teachings. In this way, you don't really you don't stop learning. You continue learning, continue practicing until you master the Ichimoku. But you need some kind of milestones or steps, the clear steps in terms of what to study first, what to understand first, and how to build the knowledges accordingly. This is something I said before also, but without the concrete, strong foundation, you cannot build the big castle. If the foundation is weak, no matter how tall or how big the castle is, it will collapse. That's why basics is the most important. So that's why I emphasize really always when you're lost, when you are struggling, then always come back to basics. Yes. So yeah, it's coming up, so please wait for that to me. Okay. Yes, I'm feeling much better now. Thank you so much. Yes, I do also check the fundamental news, but I don't trade by the news. I only trade by the Ichimoku and the price actions during the week. How I use the fundamental news is that if the news happens soon, then I don't enter market because we never know which way it goes. I tried to trade with the news in the past, but I failed, and I failed so big. So ever since, I don't trade by the news. I do check the news, I do read the newspaper and news websites, news videos, but I don't really, I'm not here to predict, I'm not here to analyze, what's going to happen in the market based on the news. Yeah, simply I capture which market is trending and I follow it. And when the trend finishes, I take profit or I exit and look for another trending market. And simply that's what I have been doing for the last few years. So my strategy is really simple. And the strategy should be, the concept of the strategy should be very simple, like this way. Yeah, the irony is that the market's moving 24 hours almost in Forex. And you see 1 minute time frame as well. So it seems like opportunities are everywhere, but actually it's not. You have to be selective on which market, which timings to trade. Yeah, the market's moving 24 hours, but it doesn't mean that you have opportunities 24 hours. That was one of the biggest lessons when I was continuously losing. Yeah, that was really, really interesting concept I was learning based on my experience. Yeah. So looks like we have, in terms of coming back to the analysis, looks like we have some Forex markets that are potentially trending. I have covered Euro CAD and Euro AUD and Pound USD today. And for the rest of the pairs and also the markets, indices and everything I cover in KTS Academy tomorrow on Mondays when the market opens. But we do have some potential opportunities, and the month of June could be very exciting. We may see some new trends or new directions among the markets. So, and they may start this week, since we have lots of big fundamental news this week. Every first week of the month, we have lots of big news. So, and they may create some new directions among the markets. So let's see. Without hope, let's check the markets continuously, and let's do what we can do and see how it goes and see what we get based on that. And never make yourself or never force yourself to trade. Whenever it's the right timing, whenever you find the trading edges, then that's when you trade. Okay, so with that being said, I think I will finish the live stream today. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. I couldn't cover all the comments today, but I do read these comments. So thank you very much for your participation. And I wish you have a great rest of your weekend and great week from tomorrow. And hope to see you again soon. So until I see you next time, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Bye from everyone. Mata ne. Thank you so much.